G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. I'm making this video to celebrate one of those days where a classic drink has a day declared to be its day. 22nd of February is, for whatever reason, Margarita Day. Who needs an excuse, really, for a margarita? But I guess this is at the tail end of our summer, so maybe it's done. Normally these very summery drinks happen in the Northern Hemisphere summer, so it's very interesting to me this one happens at the tail end of our Southern Hemisphere summer. Maybe it's to give the people in the Northern Hemisphere where things are cold a bit of promise for, hey, good days are coming again, have a margarita and think about being by the pool. The margarita is one of those classics that's really easy to riff on. A base margarita, your tequila, your lime, your orange liqueur, and a sweetener. Most people recommend agave syrup. And within that, you can play a lot. You get the Tommy's margarita, which is probably the second best known, which actually leaves out the orange curacao or the triple sec or whatever orange liqueur you like to put in, and ups the agave syrup. But a lot of people put in different fruits and mix stuff up, and I thought I'd do a little riff. I haven't seen this specific one anywhere, but as I was looking up, besides being Margarita Day, the 22nd of February is also Don the Beachcomber's birthday. He was one of the giants of 20th century bartending, particularly in the tropical tiki realm. And so I'm going to do a little riff on the margarita that I'm calling a beach margarita. There is actually a lot of discussion as to whether you should use a reposado tequila or a silva or blanco tequila when making a margarita. I tend to be on the reposado side. It's got a bit more character, but you go either with what's your favorite or what you have on hand. This one, the Espolon, is one I quite like. And so starting off, I'm going to do 1.5 ounces, 45 mils of tequila. Next, we're going to add 3/4 of an ounce of our orange liqueur. It's up to you, your personal taste, or what you have if you use a triple sec, curacao, or another orange liqueur. I've got this locally made dry curacao from Marionette that I'm particularly fond of. So I'm going to use 3/4 of an ounce, about 22.5 mils of our orange liqueur. Now, my little twist for Don the Beachcomber. Tiki's all about the rum, and so I'm going to add a little rum to make this beach margarita. I'm using an Australian rum in a circle, cask strength, 75.9% alcohol, so over 150 proof, because this has got a fair bit of kick to it, both in alcohol terms and in flavour. Just going to do 1/2 ounce, 15 mils of our rum. I'm also going to add some lime juice, 3/4 of an ounce, 22.5 mils. Some I squeezed earlier, ideally fresh squeezed. So that's what goes in next. 3/4 of an ounce, 22.5 mils of lime juice. For the sweetener, I'm using agave syrup. This is just for cooking. Got it from Costco. Don't have to be particularly fancy. You could use normal sugar syrup, but most people recommend an agave syrup, keeping in with the tequila theme. The amounts I saw varied quite a lot, from like a bar spoon, so about 5 mils, through to even 3/4 of an ounce of your agave syrup. I'm going to kind of split the difference. I'm doing about 1/4 of an ounce, 15 mils of agave syrup. I'm going to serve this in a coupe glass I've had chilling. You get a really wide range of glassware for margaritas, from some sort of purpose-specific glasses through to rocks glasses, just putting it on the rocks, even a martini glass, whatever suits you. And also, obviously, it's going to be very different if you're doing like a blender frozen margarita. Oh, little tip, if you're doing it in a blender or with crushed ice, go for it. Most recommendations I've seen said up the sweetener, so maybe even as much as 3/4 of an ounce of agave syrup if you're doing it in a blender or with crushed ice. I've seen that almost universally recommended. And now the salt side, some people like to salt the glass, which is what I'm going to do. Some people prefer to just put a pinch of salt in the drink. That's up to you. And my tip, I'm going to use lime slice to moisten the edge, and then I'm going to add some salt. But my tip is, if you're going to add salt, only do it to half the rim. So I've just got a pinch. I'm actually using pink Himalayan salt because it looks cool. Just sprinkling it on the edge, and if you only salt half the rim, that gives you the choice of having salt with the drink or not, which I think is better than basically forcing salt on every sip. We add ice to our shaker, put it together, bang it in hard. Now, because agave syrup is thicker than a lot of sugar syrups, you want to give this a really solid shake for 10 or 15 seconds. Now, I'm not averse to having a few little ice chips in my margarita, so I'm just going to use the Hawthorne strainer rather than fine straining it. But that's down to your particular preference, I guess. Strain it into our glass. That's looking nice. I'll just put that down. I think for my first sip I'm going to do it without salt. I actually have never tried it with the rum. That was just an idea I had before making this video. I thought it would work. It does. I like the richness the rum adds to the drink. I'm going to just try it on the salt side. I like that too. It makes it more tangy. Probably brings the tequila to the fore more when you have it with the salt. But that's why I recommend salt half the rim of your glass, because then you can choose whether you're having it with salt, particularly if you're making it for someone else. They have the choice of either having it with the salt or not. So there we go. For Margarita Day, a beach margarita, both in tribute to Margarita Day and Don the Beachcomber. But the margarita is endlessly riffable. I mean, if you want some ideas, actually you should check out Booze on the Rocks. Every second Monday, Dave does Margarita Monday, where he does riffs on margaritas. You can be endlessly creative with a margarita, come up with some very interesting ideas. This little rum concoction, I think, has worked quite well. Yeah, I'm definitely in favour of how that works. Sort of funky pot still rum. As my recommendation, if you're going to put rum in, a rum with a bit of kick. Really get in there and make it something a little bit different. I really like that. Well, I'm going to finish this off now, so I hope you take care of yourself, and I hope to see you again soon. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did. Hit the little notification bell so you know when I upload videos. I upload 2 or 3 videos a week exploring the world of cocktails, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. In the meantime, look after yourself, look after people around you, and until I see you again, cheers.